tell me when it's over. Oh, God. Carol, we are cursed with living in a swing state. Wouldn't you just love to be in one of those states that's like, yay, Romney, totally, 80%, not even a chance for an election ad anywhere. California was, oh, you know who called me last night, Carol? Pat McCrory. Pat McCrory called me. You know why? Because I'm a registered independent.
I get so much mail because I'm independent too.
Oh, you are unaffiliated. We are unaffiliated. Unaffiliated voters of America Unite. Oh, I got some good links here tonight already up. It's not one of those ones where I tell you I'm going to put some links up and then forget. I forgot to link to the LSD kid article last week. I'll have to do that when I get home. But no, I got some good links up already. So you can also call in. Yes. Take your hand out of your pants. Take your hand out of that bag of Doritos. Put it on the phone. Give us a call, monkeys. We only got, it's desperation time in America. You got to call. So what are we saying? Oh, yeah. Somebody gave me one of these. I think they're trying to kill me. There's just something so wrong about the candied apples. So right and so delicious, and yet so wrong about the candied apples. Did you go to the fair, Carol? You were gone. Carol was gone. The fair was fun. I'll bring some footage from the fair next week. So, okay, so what do we got to talk about? Oh, so they're all worried, Carol. All the Obamites are worried. Can we put up number whatever it is with the Obamites? Let's put it up. Okay, look. Hey, pay attention. There, did I get your attention? Listen, if there was anybody in America that thought when November came around, this race was not going to be a 52 to 48 kind of thing or 51 to 49 kind of thing, you were acting a fool. I know it was a lot of fun when all those polls showed Obama up by 10 in every damn swing state and, winning and, handily, blah, blah, blah. Come on. Come on. Really? As divided as America was, you did not think this election was going to go down to like, 51, 49, 52, 40. Really? Really? Chill out. Yes, Romney gained something from the first debate. But go to the next one, Carol, if you don't mind, please. Thank you. Yeah, this whole Romney momentum thing. It's very interesting. He definitely gained momentum after that first debate because, like, Obama, didn't show up. But that momentum is about it. The momentum Romney got from that first debate is about it. That's it. There hasn't been anything else since. That's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And the polls in the swing states, there are 9 swing states, the polls in the swing states are still showing Obama ahead. Obama's got a lock on most of the electoral college votes. More electoral college votes, not most. More electoral college votes than Romney right now. That's been true all year. That has not changed. Romney is behind on electoral college votes. Romney has to win a lot of the swing states. There are a number of different paths. The number varies. But he has to win a lot of the swing states. Most. Carol, did I say a lot? It's a most. Most of the swing states have to go to Romney. Obama only needs a couple. Again, go to the monkey cage. Can we put up the next one, Carol? I think it's the next one. I think it's the next one. Maybe not. Oh, no, I didn't put the monkey cage up. There's a great blog called The Monkey Cage. Go to my Twitter page, and I linked to this great little post on Moneyball and Romney's momentum. Quote, momentum, end quote. The post is by social scientists, statisticians. He just won, the guy that runs the blog just won one of Time Magazine's top 25 blogs of the year, which, it's Time Magazine, but still, that's not nothing. A polling surge for Romney Yay, that's what they're saying last week. This week, all of a sudden, they're looking at Politico. Sites like Politico are looking and going, well, you remember when we were telling you last week that Obama campaign's really, on to defense and blah, blah. This week, what they're saying is Romney hasn't put away a single one of those swing states. Not one swing state is clearly Romney's right now. Not one. Obama needs far fewer of them. I don't know. Okay, let's move on, shall we? I'm just saying, monkeys. Let's talk about voter fraud next. Now, I know, Carol, everybody's saying the Republicans are saying voter fraud, Democrats are saying voter fraud, but here's the thing. Not so much voter fraud, voter suppression. Voter suppression. Now, there has been one case that I've read about where letters were sent to Republicans telling them, this is, voter, intimidating letters sent to Republicans in Florida, I believe, from Seattle. One case. With confusing, intimidating letters about it's illegal to commit voter fraud, blah, 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 just designed to get people to stay home and be scared. One case. But there are literally dozens right now, literally dozens, couple dozen cases where letters, phone calls, billboards, all kinds of stuff aimed at suppressing Black, Latino, and minority votes and poor people votes have been documented. We've seen that, documented. There, Carol, there's Maricopa County, right, out west, Arizona, Sheriff Joe, the anti-illegal immigration guy. They sent out 4 letters, right? And they put out literature. In English, the election date was correct, November 6th. But Carol, the Spanish language versions of those forms all had November 8th as the election date.
You gotta be kidding me.
I am not kidding you. It's happened in 3 separate places. 3 separate places. The English language ones say November 6th. The Spanish language ones say November 8th as the voting date. The correct date is November 6th. Now, how many of these do we need before we see a pattern? Clear Channel billboards in Cleveland, right? We all heard about this. Voting fraud is a felony punishable by 3.5 years in prison and fine, blah, blah, blah. In Black and Latino neighborhoods. Now, in Ohio, it's legal for ex-felons to vote. You can get your voting rights back, as you should. Virginia's got its head up its ass on that one. You serve your time, you should be allowed to vote. End of story. Anyone who says that after you get out of jail and you're an ex-felon, you can't vote is un-American. End of story. So, aimed at Black and Latino neighborhoods, these billboards, voting fraud is a felony. All it is designed to confuse people. People who may not be quite clear on the law, may not be quite integrated into the system, but still, God damn it, have a right to vote. Those are not showing up in white Republican neighborhoods. They're showing up in Black precincts. Luckily, Clear Channel took them down when the people who put them up, an unnamed family foundation, oh, right. How many rich billionaires are there going to pull crap like this? Oh, they think they can get away with it. These people should be arrested. Clear Channel pulled them down because the people, they say they have a policy against anonymous political ads. Well, how the hell did it get up in the first place, Clear Channel, if you have a policy against anonymous political ads? Huh? And if you took their money and you have a policy against anonymous political ads, when it became clear that they wouldn't tell the public who they were, if you knew, you should have announced who they were because you have a policy against anonymous political ads. And they bought a political ad. They knew that. Tell us who they were, Clear Channel. Okay, so anyway, watch out for there is going to be voter fraud. The Republicans say that Democrats are mostly responsible, but we know what happened in 2000. A bunch of Republicans from Washington, D.C., it's called the Brooks Brothers Riot. Look it up on Wikipedia. The Brooks Brothers, because that's their suits, Carol. They were all wearing Brooks Brothers suits, wingtips. They flew in or bust down a bunch of D.C. Republicans to bang on the windows of the Florida elections offices where they were doing the recount. And that scared them so much, whoa, that they stopped doing the recount. And that's how the Supreme Court became involved, and that's how Bush won over Gore, even though Gore, we all know this, it's a fact. I'm not complaining because we have an electoral college, but it's a fact. Gore had more votes than Bush in 2000. Fact. Right, Carol? Fact. Gore had more votes than Bush. Now, we have an electoral college, blah, blah, blah. If Obama, yeah, but watch what happens, Carol. If Obama wins the electoral college and Romney gets more votes. Watch the tables turn there, huh? Ha! So, anyway, the Brooks Brothers riot was Republican operatives from D.C. flew down to Florida and started banging on the windows and basically disrupting democracy to stop the recount. That's how Bush won. That's how George W. Bush won the 2000 election. That's how the recount stopped. Intimidation. It works. People get scared. So monkeys, don't be scared. If they pull this crap again, get angry. Tea Party don't have a monopoly on anger. Do you see the little frackers, anti-fracking people getting busted, Carol?
I just heard it on the radio.
It was here. Here, let me get it from the paper. There they are, getting arrested. Fracking protesters chained themselves to state offices. I liked it. The police handled it perfectly. You know what they did, Carol? They just let them chain themselves to the doors and waited. And about an hour and a half later, the people got tired of being chained to the doors and released themselves, and the protest was over. But I like it. I like it anyway. It's good. Fracking is a crock. There's not nearly as much of the gas available from fracking in North Carolina as they say there is. There's no oversight. There will be no oversight with this stacked commission that they've just got in North Carolina about the chemicals being used. They say they're trade secrets, so we don't get to know what the chemicals they're injecting into our water tables are. There is leakage. We know that. Oh, but we can't prove that these chemicals came from us. And yeah, it's really hard to prove exactly where, but we know what's going on. Legal proof is different from scientific proof. It's true. So, yeah, 3 cheers for the fracking protesters. So anyway, get ready to get angry if they steal this election. Carol, did you know that electronic voting machines are also protected by trade secrets? One of the links that I linked to at my Twitter page right there it is, right there, is to a Slate article that just showed up about how ridiculous it is that the ins and outs of the software we use to count the votes in our democracy on some of these machines that don't have paper ballots. Thank God in North Carolina we still have the optical scanners where there's still actual physical ballots you mark with, like, oh, a magic marker. There we go. There's my vote. Slide it in the machine, and there we go. Thank God we still have that. But all these states that rushed, including Florida, to rush to electronic voting after the Chads thing, with no oversight and with allowing the companies to say, oh, you can't see our software, that's a trade secret. That's insane. Insane. So there's a great article at Slate that I linked to at my Twitter page just this afternoon about how ridiculous it is to allow these companies that are serving us in our democracy to say, oh, well, you can't see the software we use to count your goddamn votes. What? That's insane. Needs to change now. We need to see that software. We need to know how it works. That should be public information. Oh my God, and the article at Slate links to all kinds of other articles about how easy it is to hack these machines. No paper record is stupid. No paper record of a vote is stupid. I can't believe we've allowed states to do this. Stupid. Okay, all right. So can we get to the sexy part? You know, Carol, something about those cougars. I like them cougars. Something about them cougars. I heard about a cougar bar. I was talking to a friend about a bar the other night. I won't mention the bar. And he said, oh, yeah, I hear that's a cougar bar. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. The older ladies love it. They go there all the time, pick up the younger guys. I'm like, wow, wait, real? I have friends I should tell about this. So I'm not saying Debra Goldman's a cougar. Now, you know about this, right, monkeys? You know what I'm talking about. She's the school board member who, with Chris Malone, Chris Malone says, okay, these are details. Are you ready? Chris Malone says it was physical, but no intercourse, but it was hot and heavy. That's my quote, Carol. Hot and heavy physicality between Chris Malone, a Republican member of the Wake County School Board, who's now running for the North Carolina House, and Debra Goldman, who is a member of the Wake County School Board, who's now running for the state auditor. While all this hullabaloo about the Republican, and they're both married to different people. While all this hullabaloo 2 years ago was going on the school board, they were canoodling, Chris Malone says. Debra Goldman denies it. She says, he came on to me a million times. I had to tell him, no. He told me he loved me. No. And, you know, he says, no intercourse, but we definitely were going at it hot and heavy.
Is he younger?
He's married. I don't know if he's younger.
Okay, I was trying to figure out the cougar.
Well, the cougars thing is just cougars. It's too good not to throw cougars out there, Carol. Stop second guessing me. It was just cougars. Because you know what? Debra Goldman, here's the story of Debra Goldman. You ready? This is what Debra Goldman wants us to believe. The reason this came out was that Debra Goldman reported $100,000 worth of jewels stolen from her bedroom. Or out of a pink ratty backpack, right? Those were her words, Carol. Ratty pink backpack.
In her bedroom.
In her house somewhere. I'm guessing the bedroom. But the point is, $20,000 in cash, $100,000 in jewels. Stolen. She reports this to the police and accuses her fellow Republican on the school board of being one of the prime suspects. All this is going on behind the scenes. Now, John Tedesco and Ray Margiotta knew about this. They knew they were canoodling. They knew something relationship-wise was going on with these two. They've said that. What did Margiotta has. What did John Tedesco know? When did he know it about that relationship? Why didn't he say anything? Did he think that's appropriate? Does John Tedesco think it was appropriate for two married members, Republican members of the Wake County School Board, to be canoodling with each other while there was this huge controversy going on in the community? Did he know about that? Did he say anything to anybody? That's a good question for John Tedesco, sleaze bucket. So anyway, Chris Malone has an opponent. Can we, did I put her name up? Carol, did I put her name up? Hang on. Oh. Lori Millberg. So Chris Malone is running for the North Carolina House. His opponent is Lori Millberg. Chris Malone has admitted to canoodling with a married woman while he was married, while they're both members of the Republican members of the Wake County School Board. Lori Millberg for North Carolina House. The choice is clear. She's taking the high road, Carol. You know what she says? She says, I feel really bad for the children of these two families. Lori Millberg said that. That's a good answer. Imagine being the kids of these idiots. In the public eye, huge controversy. And what do they decide to do? What does Debra Goldman and Chris Malone decide to do? Start having an affair? Okay, and now here's the part I love. Debra Malone's now ex-husband, or now separated husband, says she, what?
Goldman.
What?
You said the wrong last name. Goldman.
Goldman, what did I say?
Something else.
Oh, Debra Goldman. Debra Goldman's now separated husband says that she never reported the loss of that supposed $100,000 worth of jewels from her house, from her ratty pink backpack, to her insurance company. Really, Debra? You had $100,000 worth of jewelry in your house, stolen, and you didn't have any insurance on it? Or you had insurance on it, reported the theft to the cops, but then didn't report the loss to your insurance company? Well, Carol, what do you think about that? Does that strike you as a little odd? Does that strike you like there's something missing from the story, or that maybe somebody's not telling the truth about what actually happened? I don't know. It's confusing. Are you confused by that? And guess what, Carol? Guess what? 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 Chicken butt. I've been meaning to do that we've been on this show for 10 years. I've never been able to do the guess what chicken butt song or joke or whatever or lame kind of thing that it was. Okay, chicken butt.
That's my Skype icon.
That's your Skype icon? Guess what chicken butt is your Skype? Okay, everybody, go ahead and Skype her like crazy. She told you what it was. No, guess what? This woman who claims to have lost $100,000 in jewels that she kept in some kind of backpack in her house with $20,000 in cash. You know why, Carol?
Go back.
Because after 9/11, she says, she had trouble getting money out of the bank to pay her bills. That's her excuse for why she kept $120,000 worth of stuff in her cash and jewels in her house in a ratty pink backpack. What? Did anybody else have trouble getting money out of the bank to pay their bills after 9/11? In North Carolina, I mean, in Manhattan, yes, I can sort of see the point. But, this woman, chicken butt, is now running for state auditor of North Carolina.
Say it again. Auditor.
Auditor. The woman who's in charge of counting up money for everybody else. You know what else, Carol? You know what else? Chris Malone in the News and Observer, in the police report. Because Debra Goldman said Chris Malone's had a lot of trouble. Put up the other one with Tedesco, Malone, and Goldman, if you don't mind. Chris Malone, who's the guy who says he had a physical affair with the married woman, Debra Goldman, Chris Malone is listed in the police report as saying, yeah, I've had lots of money problems. And he's running for state house.
What, the ethics committee?
Carol, remember when I told you last year that it's so easy to make money now as a North Carolina representative that the only people who are drawn to it are people who are crooks? Now we hear Chris Malone, who's an adulterer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, you know. Although, Carol, I got to tell you, there was an ad on Craigslist the other day from a married white male, and it was such a good ad. It hit all my right buttons. It hit all my right buttons. And I was like, why are you an MWM? Oh, because I have a code, Carol. I got the code of the streets. The code of the trees, the monkey code of the trees. Unless the wife knows, ain't no way we're doing nothing. MWM.
We got 1 minute.
1 minute. All right, what am I talking about? Oh, yeah, an adulterer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there is. Chris Malone is running for state house, and he's got all these money troubles that made it likely that the cops would have to interview him when Debra Goldman accuses him of stealing $100K worth of jewels from her house, from her ratty pink backpack. Chris Malone is running for the House. He's got lots of money troubles, and he's fooling around with a fellow married member of the Republican school board. And he wants to go to the North Carolina State House. His opponent's name is Lori Millberg. Lori Millberg. Do not let this happen, people. Do not reward Chris Malone's bad behavior because he's got money trouble, he's an adulterer, he's horny, can't control himself. You're going to put him in the legislature? You're going to put him in the legislature? Think, monkeys, think. Lori Millberg will not be horny and broke in the North Carolina legislature.